So it looks like no days off because, you try to take a day off and then bam, something pops up. According to a new leaker, or not even a leaker, a playtester on Reddit that was apparently a part of a Call of Duty 7 closed playtest type of thing, revealed a couple details. So he basically leaked some of the stuff that he experienced while he was there. Now, this Reddit user's name is Bigby, and here he states completely: recently, I took part in a study group for an upcoming Call of Duty. Here's some of the content which I had insight to. The story will be set in 2035 and will be a follow-up to the Black Ops 2 story. The story will also involve Woods, so we would assume obviously Frank Woods, and Mason. We're gonna assume that it's David Mason, and one other character. Can't remember the third named character. The story will allow for up to 4-player co-op, and the story will also include a big open world map titled Avalon. Omni movement will make a return, and it will also include wall running. So I'm gonna stop right there because these are the main things that we want to concentrate on since we are a campaign focused channel. The story being set in 2035 puts the events of the game 10 years after Black Ops 2's story. In that story, in Black Ops 2 in 2025, Frank Woods is 95 years old. So if he's still alive, if he's still involved in 2035 in Black Ops 7, that would put Frank Woods at 105 years old. Is that impossible? Absolutely not. That is plausible still, but that is a ridiculous number. He will be extremely old. He would, I don't even know how he would, he'd be talking and kind of knowing what's going on. So maybe he'd be involved again in the same capacity that he was in Black Ops 2. Maybe through flashbacks, maybe through just talking to David Mason. We also remember that at the end of Black Ops 2, David Mason retired from the SEALs and, just from being in the military in general. But it looks like maybe he comes back. It looks like maybe he comes out of retirement. And that to me also doesn't seem like a big old deal. I think by the time this game comes out, David Mason's age would be around, I think he'd be like in his 50s because I think he was in his 40s when Black Ops 2 was taking place. But, age doesn't really matter too much in the campaigns. Something that I did find interesting, not in a good way, not in a bad way either, just kind of interesting, is that the story will allow for up to 4-player co-op. Now, I know that you could do this in Black Ops 3 where you could kind of play together with friends and go through the campaign. It might make it fun, but does that mean that the campaign will only be fun if you try to play with other people? Because maybe some of you guys, myself included, would want to experience the campaign by myself. Obviously, there's probably a feature where you only play by yourself, but why is there a feature that allows 4 players to join you through the campaign, through the missions? That makes me a little worried because I think that maybe the story isn't going to be as linear and as jam-packed as we would want it to be, because maybe it's concentrating on taking a co-op, friends, teamwork type of approach, and maybe not all of us have that. So we're going to have to rely on like AI to play with us and stuff like that, and maybe they don't put that much emphasis on it because they think that more people are going to want to play together. Another thing that I kind of found odd is that the story will also include a big open world map titled Avalon. Now, for a few years, Call of Duty, Activision have been hinting at doing something like Far Cry. They've wanted to do these kind of sandboxy open world type of maps and missions where you kind of are in a big ass area and you kind of just can do whatever you want. They've been exploring that a little bit over the past few years. They've been talking about it. I know that that's a conversation that's happened, and them kind of jumping into it with Black Ops 6 might show once again another shift into the campaign, into the story mode. I think over the past 3 years, maybe, I don't really think Call of Duty knows where the hell they want to go with these campaigns. I don't really think they have an idea of what they really want to do. With the open combat missions, now getting a big open world map, I don't know. It seems like they don't really know what they're doing or what they truly want. Omni movement is going to come back. That's not a big surprise. That looks like Omni movement is here to stay. Maybe a couple changes here and there, but Omni movement is going to be the main movement for Call of Duty for a really long time, I would assume. But wall running is returning. I know some of you guys probably going to like that. Some of you guys are probably not going to like that. We've talked a lot about the Modern Warfare game that's coming out next year and how there was a rumor that that game was also going to include wall running. A lot of us don't like that for Modern Warfare because it doesn't feel like Modern Warfare. But how do you feel about it for Black Ops 7, which is supposed to be set in 2035, 10 years from now, and it's more of a semi-futuristic type of title? Now, one other quick detail here is that the big open world map apparently is called Avalon. Does that mean that Pantheon doesn't get discovered in the 90s and Pantheon is going to rise again in 2035? Are we getting a hint of the potential villain there? And that's really it, I suppose. One character that I would have liked to see return in Black Ops 7 was Mike Harper. I would have liked to see Harper return. He was David Mason's best friend, and they worked together a lot of missions. I know that there's 2 outcomes to to Mike Harper. In one, he dies, and one, he survives. You know, I guess we'll find out which one that is. But if Mike isn't involved in Black Ops 7, then maybe they just make his death canon and, you know, we move on from him. But I would have enjoyed to see Mike Harper also make a return. That's what we have so far. They also talked a lot about zombies, multiplayer, and some other stuff, but we're not going to get into that in this particular video. We just want to talk about the campaign leaks for Black Ops 7.